Did you notice it was the exact same set as the post-credit scene in Thunderbolts?
No, was it?
I mean, it looked like it. Think about the Thunderbolts when they walk in. It's a circular room, thing in the center. They're all sitting on like a round couch, like conversation pit, big windows in the back.
It could make sense that if in Thunderbolts post-credit scene when they're coming to our Earth,
that would be where they're landing.
They're going to their building, and the Thunderbolts Avengers is
Baxter
their building.
Avengers Tower.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how they parallel. They're going home. And their home is Avengers Tower instead of Baxter.
Yeah, it's like Back to the Future Part 2 scenario. Yeah. Oh my God, you're right.
I think I got it. Yeah, I think that's a thing.
Dang. Yeah. Oh my God, we alley-ooped that shit. That was cool.
Now we got a big ending to this video.
Yeah. Or we put it at the beginning.
Or
we make sure people know.
Yeah. Engagement.
Now
we called it.
Now we roll the intro.
Hey.
Go. Reject Nation, I am super grateful to be working in a field I genuinely love. Talking movies, making content, running this channel, truly privileged, but the internet is always changing, even this very platform, because algorithms shift, platforms evolve. And there's this quiet fear in the back of my mind that I've expressed to you guys a few times. What if one day this just doesn't work anymore? Because that's life. And that's scary. Life is scary. It makes you think about the future, about long-term security, and what financial independence really means in a digital world that never stands still. That's why I am grateful to highlight today's sponsor, Triple 10, a powerful option for anyone who's thinking about what is next. Triple 10 is an online bootcamp that helps people pivot into online tech even with no experience. You don't have to be a coding genius. It's beginner-friendly and flexible enough to fit around your schedule. Whether you're balancing work, family, or fitness goals like I am. That's way more important than family. You know what I mean, though. Here's the kicker. 82% of Triple 10 grads land a job within 6 months. And if you don't get hired in 10, you get your money back. No joke. And Greg uses words like grads now. Even better, they offer unlimited externship opportunities after graduation. So you're always building real-world experience. And during the program, you'll work on actual projects. So you graduate with a portfolio that helps you stand out. It's practical, it's real, and it could be the first step to a more stable, future-proof career. So if you're like me and you've ever wondered, what's next for me? This might be your sign. You can click the link in the description box and pin comment or scan the QR code for a free consultation. Start learning tech for just $200 a month. Thank you, Triple 10, for sponsoring this video. Good afternoon, citizens of the Reject Nation. We are here to talk about that Fantastic Four first steps post-credit scene because, man, does it set up a lot for Avengers Doomsday.
It certainly
does.
There's
a lot to actually theorize about, and we have not talked off camera about jack about it, but I
thought we were saving it.
I feel like we're probably going to have like a good back and forth here, or Greg's going to have a good listening session.
Okay.
One of the two. It's going to be. Before we go into any of that, please leave a like on this video. That means the world if you can do that. Secondly, we have launched a new Fantastic Four First Steps Inspired tee. Take a look. RejectNationShop.com. Thanks to Alyssa Ferrari for crafting that together. You can follow her on Instagram. This design took a kind of a lot of input, and I think it turned out pretty cool in the end. So thank you to everyone who buys one. If you end up buying one, please tag us on social media. Fantastic way to support the channel. I said fantastic. How many times will I say that in this video? Ha ha ha. And Coy and I will be doing a spoiler talk going act by act. We're going to record that after that, but I was like, let's talk about the post-credit scene because that's a whole video in it of itself. Okay, post-credit scene, pretty easy to explain. After the ending of the movie where everyone's alive, Franklin's alive, and he's the fifth character here, and it's established that he does indeed have superpowers. And if you know the comics, Franklin is like god level omega status of superpower capability. And then the post-credit scene happens 4 years later. I like how this movie works in fours.
It is cheeky. I like it.
Because it starts off 4 years after. If you're going off of Kirby's birthday for 828, 4 times 2 is 8. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Like there's a lot of math. Yeah, there's a lot of like, and it works with like read and symmetry. Yeah, this is pretty cool. And then this is 4 years later, and Sue walks to the kitchen. She comes back, and then the camera pans around, and you see Franklin touching Doom's face. You don't actually see it, but then Dr. Doom is cheating his mask to the camera so you know for sure.
I am Doom.
That's definitely not Robert Downey Jr. there. That's definitely some actor. And they said just cheat it a little bit. Like it looks so like that was the part that I thought was so funny about it, is that it looks so staged.
There was no frame that someone would ever kneel that.
Yeah, it's the way it was done. It's just so funny. It would have been more effective if they actually. I felt like, why didn't you just reshoot this and put Robert Downey Jr. there? But I don't know. I don't know.
$100,000 a
Yeah,
second.
it's very true. But yeah, the way it was done was funny. But it is a clear setup for Avengers Doomsday. And as we were theorizing in the Fantastic Four, one of the trailer reactions about the future of how significant Franklin will play into it, because he is so significant. The guy has like all the powers. I wrote some of them down. Okay, I mean, I can't freaking find my text, but I know it's like reality warping. There's a manipulation time. You can resurrect the dead, as you see in the movie.
Yep.
Here it is. Oh, I said all that. And he can alter the law of physics. I remembered most of it.
The physics one I think is interesting because of his parents. But yes, those are the ones.
I was like, I'm missing something here.
Some key OP power.
But yeah, no, they can create and destroy universes, and considering what, it's leading to with Avengers Secret Wars and with Battleworld. And then we got Incursions happening. So Coy, if you can use your words and knowledge to explain like what is your first thoughts on what do you think is going to be happening with Franklin moving forward in Doomsday?
My first thought was actually more emotional, which was interesting. I wasn't thinking about the power set of Franklin as much as I was thinking in the comics, Valeria, their daughter, is the one
she's
that
so
is
much closer with Doom.
Yeah, and she's like his goddaughter. Like there's an actual weird thing where there's like a piece in order for Valeria to like go visit Doom. I'm wondering if we're going to keep it to one kid and it's going to be Franklin and Doom having a relationship. And when he gets all this power, that turns into like, oh, is he actually a fan of the child, or does he like want its power?
Yeah.
Like if Franklin can create universes, Doom has some ulterior motives, or they might see it that way.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if there's going to be a different relationship with Franklin and Doom than the traditional Valeria and Doom.
Like, well, yeah, I think that's kind of hinted at in the fact that he's touching his face.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, are we getting Valeria's? Was my first thought. Like, are they going to have one child? That way it's not like 6. Like, is it going to be just Franklin representing both kids in the storytelling?
I think for sake of movie
For,
adaptation
linear.
and stuff, I think they're not going to do Valeria.
So that was my first thought, was like he's Valeria and Franklin comic-wise.
Well, they don't make it exactly clear, though, why Galactus wants Franklin. Why do you think he wanted Franklin?
Because if you're so hungry, you need to consume planets. This kid can make universes.
He can make universes and planets to consume, yeah.
Nom.
Yeah,
like to me, that's like infinite fullness. He also said that he could take over his mantle. He could wield the guilt and the power of consuming planets. Like I think he was going to curse him with, because Galactus was a humanoid type thing once.
Yeah.
And so I think that was going to be Franklin's role.
Do you think it's setting up for Franklin to become Beyonder?
I think a mix of Beyonder or Molecule Man, like something that big power set wise. Like in Secret Wars, the Hickman one, Molecule Man is an integral part of the Secret Wars Doom element. Like he's like the power behind it. I could see Franklin being that.
Oh yeah. Well, I think the reality shaping is going to be probably like such a big part of it, because when you're dealing with Battleworld, what was the thing I said in the prior video? I like the way I said it. It was like a Hunger Games arena.
Yeah.
But instead of districts, it's like pieces of broken universes.
Exactly.
Yeah. And they're like smashed together on one planet, and it's led by Doom, and it can determine the future of the MCU.
Yeah.
And then when you have Incursions where, universes and planets are going all haywire, this had me thinking that he wants to use Franklin's powers to his own benefit, and that Doom will actually approach this in a way where he thinks he's a hero.
Right. Doom's always going to think he's doing the right thing.
Yeah, whereas like Galactus still felt incredibly malevolent.
Oh, that's interesting. I felt Galactus was very neutral.
I thought he was
just hungry.
I thought the feeling that he conveyed, or like the feeling you got when with him, was fear and malevolence. And like, I mean, he toys with his food.
That's true.
He literally
That's true.
toys with Reed,
Yeah.
Yeah, he has no empathy towards the situations at all, or people's emotions whatsoever. So I thought he's very malevolent. And I like how you're really, no, he's just hungry.
More food.
He's just a hungry guy, just playing, like stretching his spaghetti.
Don't worry about it.
You need 20 minutes to digest your food.
You're right. That's pretty malevolent, that choice. You're not wrong.
Whereas I feel like Doctor Doom, like by having an intimate touch moment where
we're meeting him in such an intimate moment.
Where Doom in that shot is almost like, I am going to be the father of the next universe. I will be the hero. I can determine what is good and bad.
Trust me, child.
Yeah, so
like that's such an intimate moment.
Yeah, as goofy as I thought the staging of it was, I'm like, it's very telling.
It was a well written moment. The delivery was tricky.
Yeah,
because it's like movie.
Yeah, for sure. And then
what'd you think of the mask?
I mean, I feel like they're gonna change the mask.
Yeah, I feel like
it looked like the mask at Comic-Con.
It was odd that it was so shiny and didn't look lived in, but I was like, okay, he's royalty, so maybe they want it to be clean. But then I was like, kind of looked like the Acolyte, where the Jedi robes were like, they're young, so they're clean, but it's like, it looks like it's off the shelf.
I didn't take that mask at face value. I didn't. I didn't though. It seemed like an outfit they needed, the most generic Doom outfit they could use.
Like the Thanos turnaround.
They needed
like that. Thanos didn't look the same.
I'm not even bothered by that. I mean, if you are doing your first look at Doom, you probably want it to be a badass look, and that wasn't really like the badass conviction that I was looking for. But I'm
glad it's at least comic accurate. I was afraid they'd play around and make it like the Iron Man when he's Doom, and I was afraid because there are arcs where they switch bodies. That's not what they're doing. But they make the Iron Man suit and the Doom parallel a little bit. And I was afraid they'd be like, he's trying to disguise himself because he finds out that Tony Stark looks like him. Like, I was a little afraid of that. So I'm glad it's at least a Doom costume.
Well, the movie itself also has, implications of and understandings of the other ones. Like the Thunderbolts post-credit scene has the Fantastic Four arriving to Earth. Right. So it would appear that, at least in my perception, and most likely others, is that Doom does take Franklin, and then it becomes a hunt to save Franklin, which leads them to our world. And that leads to that. But
there's also an interesting question of, we haven't seen them interact with our world at all. You could do an entire Fantastic Four 2 before Secret Wars. Not in chronological order, like for our filming, but like that they don't have to touch our stuff. They could come in after the universe reboots.
And then again, there lies my concern. Because I feel like the best way to do a Doomsday movie is the way they said Infinity War is a Thanos point of view movie, really actually do that.
100%. He needs to be the lead.
Exactly. It really does need to be
it's his day.
Yeah, it's his day. It's Doomsday.
Let him have his day.
Yeah, I think you have to really let him be his day versus all this other stuff with all these like different cameos and everything. And maybe that'll come in the form of Doom hopping planets and interacting with characters and then if he has Franklin at his disposal, that makes it much easier to fathom how he's able to pull that off. And in the movie, you see at those like Senate meetings or whatever, those hearings, Barry is there, but Doom's not present. So he's obviously been forming some plans and observing behind the scenes, and probably
they're aware of him.
Yeah, and it seemed to me like an indicator that he's been developing this like almost like Lex Luthor obsession with Superman off screen, but maybe an off screen obsession with the Fantastic Four and really keeping his eyes on them.
I also really like that moment for that very moment to build history without having to do too much. But I love that the movie is such a mother protecting child movie, and then the last beat, the threat of Doom is an innocent, soft moment, but you feel like someone invaded your space.
Yeah.
Like I have this crazy paranoia of just someone in my house like that. That's why The Strangers work so well. Just the idea of like, why are you doing this? Because you were home. Yeah. Like the idea of someone in your space is so invasive. I love that the whole movie is like, protect my child, do anything to protect my child. We meet Doom literally just already there.
Yeah.
I really liked that, like, he's already this figure of power and malice and he doesn't move.
Yeah.
That's so cool that like there's an impact. So the moment tender, but the realization of like invader, of privacy, of like ultimate power, you're just bamfing in here.
Yeah.
Probably using his teleportation thing, which Reed Richards' John Krasinski used in.
Did he?
Oh yeah, the way he.
Oh my God, you're
that's
right.
That's a Dr. Doom. Yeah.
Holy shit!
Now that you're reading the comics,
oh my God, yeah.
That's a Doom device.
Oh yeah.
So I assume that's how he got in.
Ah yes. Okay, that's cool. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, right? I was as excited about how John Krasinski got there as Reed being there. Because I was like, Doom device!
That's pretty cool.
So I assume that's how he got in, which is fun.
Well, I think, though, that it will probably end with Franklin. See, the thing is, we keep saying Franklin, and to clarify, a big part of, especially in the Hickman run, is that older Franklin factors in a lot,
Yeah.
like he time travels back.
Time dilation is a big part of this movie, which I thought they were going to touch on more. I'm curious if that comes to play.
Yeah, no, I think it will. I think Fantastic Four that's the cool thing about how I thought this movie was executed, is that it stands alone and it doesn't feel like a giant setup for the next movie.
Right.
But when you think about it,
it sets up so
it sounds
much.
like the perfect setup for the next movie.
Which is how they used to feel.
Yeah, exactly.
It feels like phase 1.
Yeah, because it feels
where it's its own thing, but you have so many opportunities out of it.
Instead of it seeming like the purpose of it is to set up the future.
I love that we did not immediately have the instinct to just do post-credit video. We're going to do a full spoiler conversation. Like, so many of these movies are about the next thing. This movie feels like its own thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to cap off that, like, one thought is I think that we will probably have an older Franklin Richards. I don't know who will play that. Oh my God, Gabriel Luna.
I could see that.
Pedro Pascal's brother from the last. Actually, we've had a cool meta casting.
Yeah, I immediately can see that. That'd be interesting. He's so good.
I think that'd be fun. Oh, but then you won't get him as Ghost Rider. Anyway, but yeah, I think we'll probably have like an older Franklin show up by the end, and then he will be the one. And when because anytime, like, I imagine anytime Franklin uses his powers, that actually further contributes to the incursion problems, right?
Right. And like it has to, if you're creating
Yeah.
mass and universes, that's going to have to be a conversation.
Yeah, and it's like a power of abuse that he would use on Franklin. And I think Franklin would be the one who would ultimately land us on the reset that Kevin Feige's been talking about.
And my curiosity
And I
is
think he'll die.
Franklin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like if he's
Otherwise, he's too
if he's
powerful.
around, yeah.
Like he's too OP.
Yeah.
Any problem? Like
Yeah.
it's just, there's no.
Yeah.
But my curiosity is if you can get the Sony rights and everything solved by then, if you bring in Miles and stuff that way. Like incursions and universes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'd love to see, because that's how Secret Wars is for, is to bring in Miles. It'd be interesting to have Miles start.
Well, it's just so interesting to think. Yeah, I think that will be the way they do it. But it's interesting when you look at that post-credit scene of how that few seconds tells you so much about the possibilities of what they can do.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of people went into this not understanding the significant. And admittedly, when I saw the first trailer, I didn't know anything about Franklin Richards really.
Yeah.
And then as I got deep dove into the comics, I'm like,
Especially Hickman.
I'm like, Franklin Richards is going to be like the most important thing in this whole thing. And he was so important to the plot of Fantastic Four. And now it makes way more sense how Doom would be able to do all the things they're doing for their big event movie if he's able to weaponize a relationship with a young Franklin Richards.
Yeah, and that's the ultimate invasion and lack of being able to protect your child.
Yeah.
Is like when someone gets the kid to think that you're the safe space.
Yeah. Ooh, that's cruel.
Like that's dark.
That's
like
cruel.
That's the ultimate in betrayal and the ultimate in like, you took everything from me, I'm taking everything from you.
That emotional manipulation.
Yeah, and he's always been jealous of Reed. So like, what does he do? Take the thing that Reed cares about most and Sue cares about most.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
In one frame. Like we did not see much. Also,
it's getting me. A lot of my hype for Doomsday is like coming around.
I'm still reticent, but I'm hoping. I was reticent. I mean, I'm excited to talk, spoiler review with you, but a lot of my concerns stayed concerns, but the movie was so good that they got absolved. I'm hoping I get that with Downey Jr., where my concerns are still probably going to be valid, but the movie's so good that it's fine.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm hoping, because I'm still worried. But like, I trust in the team and I trust in Downey's acting, and that moment was impactful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, I'm in to try.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I'm excited. I just
you.
I'm not going like, I'm still at a 9 concern, but I'm at a 10 excitement. But I'm not going to pretend the 9 isn't still there.
I think the thing is that I love the movie. I love the movie.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting to love the movie this much.
Sure.
That this movie alone got me excited more about them being a focal point and maybe perhaps the main characters of the next Avengers movie.
They should be if it's called Doomsday.
Exactly. And if that's the case, then I'm more excited for it now,
I can see that.
especially because they've really sold me on this new cast of characters.
Yeah.
And especially what that would do for Reed and Sue primarily. And you see how personal their emotions get. You know, like he's breaking down in the finale. There's such a harrowing part of the finale of the film, and the emotional thrust. I'm like, oh shit, man, this might actually work now. Yeah,
It'd be really interesting because it felt like the original plan was it to be a Shang-Chi trilogy, from Shang-Chi into Kang Dynasty into Secret Wars. And I felt like in Secret Wars, we were going to have the moment where Doom takes over.
Yeah.
And Kang Dynasty was going to be him having all this power. And then at the beginning of Secret Wars, or maybe the very end of Kang Dynasty, Doom shows that he's the ultimate threat. It's funny now that The last thing that launched in post-Endgame world that everyone loved was Shang-Chi. Like, Eternals didn't do as well. Black Widow was an older property. Guardians 3 was an older property. Like, the biggest launch, I would say, is Shang-Chi. It's interesting that when that didn't work out because of Kang, this new launch might become a trilogy where it's Fantastic Four into Doomsday into Secret Wars, where that's the soft trilogy. Kind of like what WandaVision became with WandaVision and Agatha into Vision Quest. It's interesting, these trilogies kind of forming these arcs that other things can interlude in.
But then with Reed having this ability to connect to the world with his science and the world like when he wants to do the teleportation, the world's listening to him, taking his advice on it. Like, hey, I have the solution to save the world.
Move heaven and earth.
So when they have a new world established, whatever this singular timeline will be, after presumably what Doom and Franklin do, I could totally see how Reed would then be the lead of the Avengers going forward, and how he would be the one people would call it, because not even Tony Stark had that influence.
Right.
But this movie establishes that Reed has that capability to connect to the entire world.
Yeah. They are the people, the saviors.
I don't know, man. It got me really excited it got me more excited than before. And of course, I'll wait for a trailer, and I want to see some, like, if I can believe RDJ as Dr. Doom.
That's why it's a 9 versus 10.
And not separate, and not be like, I just see Robert Downey Jr.,
Yeah.
But I have my doubts about Pedro, which is not as big of an ask, nowhere near as big of an ask, but I was able to see Reed Richards and not Pedro. So if I can do that with him, then I'm hoping I can do that with RDJ.
The other post-credit scene I'm forgetting, it was 4 villains, right? It was Red Ghost, the Wizard. Do you remember the other 2?
I don't. Oh yeah, the cartoon. The cartoon that hints off of. I mean,
the opening.
This is the one people really want me to talk about.
Well, we're talking post credits, Greg.
That's leaning off of like a lot of what happens in the intro, because like
they mentioned those villains, but I can't remember. There were 3 villains. It was Wizard, Red Ghost. Red Ghost was going to be Malkovich, and he wasn't in the film, and they cut, but his voice is still Red Ghost.
I'm sure if I typed in who are some of the most popular Fantastic Four villains,
it's been driving me nuts since yesterday.
Who are the most popular Fantastic Four villains? Give me a list. I'm sure I could find.
Because a Wizard, Red Ghost, and
they didn't say Molecule Man, not Blaster. No, what? These are 2 huge villains.
Who was it?
Who are the most obscure but popular?
What a specific
obscure
Google.
but popular Fantastic Four villains, like a Red Ghost and
Wizard.
Freaking Mole Man. Damn, Mole Man. Let's see. Maybe we can find some names. Mad Thinker? Did they say Mad Thinker? I think
might have been Mad Thinker.
They said Mad Thinker.
I think it was Mad Thinker. I think you're right. I think it was Mad Thinker.
You see the super apes in there,
which is a Red Ghost thing.
Yeah, exactly. Not Dragon.
But yeah, that was a fun. I really liked that post credits. It was like that establishes how full that world already is. They already have villains. They already have montages. They're already like cartoon. I thought that was really clever too.
Oh, they definitely said Namor.
Yeah,
he was definitely there.
Namor? Yeah, he was totally there. Sue Storm was like off, like, oh, Namor's hitting on me.
Diablo, maybe? I'm not.
I think it was Mad Thinker, because he's such a funny villain. Like, that's such a funny title. It's very, very golden age. But yeah, I think it was the Wizard. I mean, of course, everyone that's watching this has seen us. They're yelling at us in the comments.
Yeah,
but
well, do it. Yell at us.
Yeah.
You wanted us to talk about the Doom stuff.
Helps engage.
And the videos mainly, we wanted to talk about like what that set up and how we felt.
I think we did.
Let's talk about the spoiler talk now. You want to do that?
Yeah.
All right, sweet. Let's go into it. But guys, what do you think about this post-credit scene of Dr. Doom? Did you like it? Did you think it was weird? Like a little weirdly shot? What were the emotions that elicited for you? Would love to know your thoughts.
It was the exact same set as the post-credit scene in Thunderbolts.
No. Was it?
It looked like it. Think about the Thunderbolts. When they walk in, it's a circular room, thing in the center. They're all sitting on like a round couch, like conversation pit, big windows in the back. I think they just redressed the set.
It just seems like generic room. like that's a room you just.
Thunderbolt's out on Blu-ray, right? Can you pull up post-credit Thunderbolt room and see if I'm right?
Sure.
Because I literally think it's the same room.
Let me just type in Thunderbolts post-credit scene.
Because because the Russo shot both those post-credits, because I think they're shooting on Avengers. And I think that's the room. Like when Bucky walks in. Maybe I'm crazy.
It looked like it could be redressing it, yeah.
Am I crazy? Is that not the
I don't
same?
think you're crazy. It looks like it could be it.
Like they put a chimney in the center and they made it look like a conversation pit. I think that's the same room.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not sure. It could be. Yeah, you're probably right.
So I thought that was funny. 2 post-credit scene, 1 room.
I mean, it would make sense.
You got to film it all quick.
Well, beyond that, it could make sense that if in Thunderbolts post-credit scene, when they're coming to our Earth,
that would be where they're landing.
They're going to their building, and the Thunderbolts Avengers is
Baxter
their building.
building Avengers Tower.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how they parallel. They're going home. And their home is Avengers Tower instead of Baxter.
Yeah,
building.
It's like Back to the Future Part 2 scenario. Yeah. Oh my God, you're right.
I think I got it. Yeah, I think that's a thing.
Dang. Yeah. Oh my God, we alley-ooped that shit. That was cool.
Now we got a big ending to this video.
Yeah. Or we put it at the beginning.
Or
we make sure people know.
Yeah. Engagement. We called it.
Now we roll the intro.
Hey.
Go. And
find out how we got there.
Now you put the end screen on. Go.
Yeah.